Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Eddy George, who will be fighting this Friday on CES 73. Hello, Eddy. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for taking this. And you have a really good test in front of you. It's opponent who fought for the lately for the Titan FC title. And please tell me about how did your training goes and how many weeks did you have to prepare?
I had around so I just fought the other month, like almost 2 months ago. So it was kind of like an extended camp after that last fight. I took around like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Just let my body heal after the previous fight. And while I was resting, we were already looking for another card to jump on. And CES had the closest date, and that's how that happened. So kind of, I only took like 2 weeks off of from my last fight, and then just right back into camp. So not really any downtime, but I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm ready to fight. So that's good with me. I want to say really active this year.
And he seems to be a really good fighter on the local scene because he have some good wins. So I believe that it will be a good test for you in this point of your career.
Yeah, we'll see about that. You know, you can't ever sleep on anyone, and he's 9-4 for a reason. But from what I've seen, he's kind of fought, backyard bums for the most part from the promotion that he fought at before. His last fight, the title fight at Titan FC, he fought a real fighter, and you know, he looked like a shell of a man. He looked like a shell of himself. So not counting him out, not sleeping on him. He's 9-4 for a reason. But I definitely think that the caliber of people that he's fought is it's not, it doesn't make his resume really pop to me as much. His last fight, he fought a real fighter, but besides that, not overly impressed. But I'm excited for this fight, and you know, always the next upcoming fight is the toughest fight because you can't look past it. But with that said, I feel that I'm too much for this man, and I'm gonna hurt him, break him, and put him away.
So you will be planning to add another knockout to your record.
Yeah, well, it's like the thing about knockouts, you can't really hunt for it, can't really fish for it because that's how you mess up, get overextended. Um, I learned after the end of my amateur career and going into my pros, I had back to back knockouts, and you kind of get that bloodlust for it, and you hunt for it. And I I'm fortunate enough to not have to. I haven't been dealt a loss from doing that, but I have found myself being putting myself in situations where I shouldn't have got hit when I did because I was hunting for a knockout, and I've really learned to pull that back a little bit and not coast, but be more tactful with my approach in getting a finish. So whether it's I ice him and I knock him out cold, or I get a TKO, or if it even goes the distance, I don't feel personally like it'll go the distance. I feel I'm too much for him to handle. But if it goes the distance, good for him. But I truly believe that a finish is what's going to happen.
Yes, and sometimes going to the distance is also a good thing because you can test your cardio, you can show that you are a better fighter in all of this 15 minutes. So sometimes I think that it's a good thing.
100%. I agree with you. My last two fights, I went the distance. That actually broke my knockout streak. My last two fights. So I have great cardio. I don't get tired. I've only done three fives, but I'm able to go 5 5s, no problem. And I'll get to show that eventually one day with a title fight. But 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm going to go out there. I'm gonna put it on this man. I'm gonna get my hand raised, and I'm gonna go home.
And what do you think will be next for you when you win this fight? Would it be a CES lightweight title?
No, probably not. You know, the current champion, the lightweight champion, very good friend of mine, Nate Garib. He's the holder of that belt, and him and I are very good friends, and there's zero chance of us ever fighting each other's. And I'm okay with him having the belt. You know, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he has the belt. And so if I was to fight for a title, it wouldn't be for CES. With that said, you know, I get this win that puts me at 7-0. It's kind of at the point where it's like, all right, let's see what's outside the regional scene. And, you know, I know Contender Series is coming around the corner. I'm always game for a short nose UFC call, and there are these other promotions as well. If the UFC is not an option, a PFL, a Bellator, you know, possibly a ONE FC, you know, there's plenty of other options for me. And even kind of like on the regional scene, but the higher level, you have LFA, CFFC, all these different promotions that put on great shows. And the year is early, man. Like there's still so many months before December, and you know, I just gotta make sure I stay healthy and just be ready to fight whenever it comes time.
Yes, and I think that because of your great record, if you add 1 or 2 wins, you can be either in the Contender Series or even, like you said, a short notice fight and go to the UFC because of your skill, undefeated record. So I think that it's really, really close.
I agree. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy you see that. I agree with you. Definitely very close, and I just gotta keep going out there and doing my thing. So I'm looking forward to the future, but I'm not looking too far ahead of the future because May 12th I have my next challenge in front of me, and I gotta go and capitalize and seize that moment.
And let's talk about a little bit about the beginnings in the sport. What was the first discipline of combat sports that you train?
So when I was a very young kid, I started with traditional martial arts when I was 8 years old. I actually got my black belt, excuse me, in Taekwondo. I stopped doing Taekwondo right before I got my second degree black belt. I competed in Taekwondo tournaments and competitions a little bit for a couple of years, and then I eased into boxing when I was 10 years old. And then I boxed for 2 years. I started wrestling when I was 12, and then I wrestled from 12 all the way through high school. And then when I really didn't do much after that, and I didn't find MMA until like my mid 20. I didn't start doing training MMA until I was like 26, 27, 20, 27. I didn't sign up for MMA. So I haven't been doing MMA that long. And, you know, I know guys that have been training MMA exclusively for years and years and years, and take some, you know, 4 years to make an amateur debut and go through the amateur circuit. I've been able to fast track a lot of people, and, you know, just from where I started MMA, be able to skip the line and pass all these people and become a top prospect in the country, and do everything I've done in, you know, around 7 years, close to 7 years. And it just speaks to my work ethic and my confidence, my attitude, and my ability to soak things up like a sponge and just learn very fast.
Yes, and this is quite interesting that you started like MMA, overall MMA training quite late, but because
Yeah,
of your experience in these other sports, boxing, wrestling, taekwondo, it made you like even with start, it made you like a little bit like veteran going to the sport.
a little bit. Definitely when I was starting MMA, my striking really wasn't, I don't think, that great. It was very rigid and stiff and kind of clunky. But you know, just, you know, put myself in the room around the right people and training hard, I started to like smooth it out more and more. Obviously, when you're a 10-year-old kid and you start boxing, I boxed for 2 years. You know, I wouldn't have considered myself a boxer at that point. You're just a young kid, like hitting the bag, and, you know, don't really know much. I did a few, you know, boxing matches when I was young, but I would never consider myself a boxer. Maybe in a street fight, yeah, but for like a competitive standpoint, no. I didn't start finding my comfortability in boxing and being able to, exchange and understand boxing a little bit until I would say the past like year and a half, close to 2 years. And everything started to come together a little bit more. Now, I don't think I'm a boxer, but I believe that I have good boxing, and I go and train at boxing gyms now and whatnot, and spar with boxers that only box, and I put it on a lot of those guys, and I hold my own with other guys that are higher level than me, and I have a lot of respect in the box community. So, just because I did that as a young kid, I wouldn't consider myself a boxer. More as like someone that had a passion for combat sports that just dabbled in things. The wrestling is the only thing that I really carried into MMA years later, having an understanding for pressure, controlling someone on the ground, and just knowing how to move correctly.
And where do you currently train?
I train at a Fighting Arts Academy in Milford, Connecticut.
It is a Nick Newell gym, right?
Yeah, 100. That's my head coach. That's my first gym, first MMA gym that I ever signed up to was with him, and I've been with him since signing. I go and I cross train a good bit, and I travel a decent amount, so I go to other places as well. But as far as like my gym, my home gym, it is in Milford, Connecticut, at Fighting Arts Academy.
Yes, and he was a great fighter. He fought for WSOF. He fought in the Contender Series. And is he planning to be back in the cage, or not right now, or did he retire?
He hasn't retired, no. To be honest, I'm not sure what he wants to do. Every man has to make their own choice and their own call. He, as you know, he's a gym owner, which takes a lot out of somebody. He's a father. He has 3 kids. He's married. Owning a gym, having other fighters like myself and other people, it's a lot. And you have to know how to delegate your time. And something with fighting, it's 2 feet in or nothing at all. It's kind of hard to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Not saying that he's that way, but he, like myself, is a perfectionist and someone that wants to give it their all. They're going to do it. And I don't know what his plans are. I know he loves to fight. He would like to fight again. He just he's preoccupied with the gym and everyone else trying to come up. So he spends a lot of time doing jujitsu now, and he might just stick with the jujitsu, or he might step back into the cage in the next year or so. I don't know. That'd be a question you'd have to ask him though.
And getting back to you, because we are fighting in lightweight division, do you ever plan to go either to the featherweight or welterweight, or did you do you plan to be always a lightweight?
So I've had a few fights at welterweight. I'm actually undefeated at welterweight as well. As far as do I want to be a welterweight? No, I don't believe that I'm the right size for the division. Even though I might walk around, I don't walk around super heavy, but there are some welterweights that are on the smaller side that are like, I'm close to their weight. I don't weigh as much as them, but I'm close to their weight. But they're still a bigger person than me. They're taller. They have a longer reach. So for that, I don't think I would see myself as a good fit for welterweight as far as my walking around weight, my height, and my reach. I would like to try featherweight at least, once or twice. I don't know how it would be. To cut to 55 is a task on its own. And I've never tried to do anything under 55. I would entertain the thought of doing like a mock cut one time just to see how low I can go. But the other side of that is if I do a fake cut to just try to cut the 45 for no reason, that's gonna take something out of me, and then it's gonna mess me up for the future for cutting weight for a possible fight. And I don't know if I want to take that type of time to just find out. But I would like to try to fight for featherweight at least once to see. I'm curious if my body would get that low.
When you cutting your weight, in this like a test, it can be dangerous because it like you said, it taking something from you. So for the good fight, it will be a good option, but just to do it is it's good only in theory.
Yeah, it's silly, you know. And the way I look at it, and I've talked about this with my manager, Tyson Chartier, because I've had that conversation with him as well as Nick about maybe thinking about try 145 before, and they're both in the agreement of why would you're not a small 50. I'm not a small 55er. I win at 55. I'm a force to be reckoned with at 55. Why would I try to cut weight and go down to another weight class and risk something, especially if I'm not going to get big bucks for it? And I agree with that. So if it was a fight that the money made sense, yeah, I have nothing to lose. I'll try it because it's the more money's on the table. But for me to try to make 145 right now, where it's not big money, it's does not really that appealing to me.
And do you have some opponent in lightweight division in a regional scene that you would like to face?
Not really, man. I try not to like pick fights or anything like that. I'm in New England right now, and kind of how New England is, like, it's not that big of a place, but a lot of these guys fight each other, and I'm kind of against that. I feel like it's a big country, big world out there. Why fight one another when we could fight people that are outside of this area? So as far as that, there's people that I would like to fight and think about fighting that are around here, but I try not to do that. I'm more looking at people that aren't around this area to challenge myself. And no, I don't really. I try not. I don't really care to go and see like who's ranked this, who's ranked that. It's more like I believe I'm a bad man, and I'm just gonna keep winning my fights and do my job. And when people get offered to me, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna take it. And if you agree to sign that dotted line, then cool. You just agree to let me whoop your ass, and that's it.
And last year you have a few fights cancelled. And how frustrating it was for you?
Yeah, 2022 was a very frustrating year for me. I had people back out, last minute opponent switch ups, which is kind of like a normal thing on the regional circuit. But last year was more than usual with the backouts. Last minute injuries. I had someone blow out their knees that tore their meniscus. A guy broke his arm like 2 weeks before the fight, randomly sparring. All frustrating stuff. I had, I was supposed to fight for the title last November for CES, and my opponent came in like 8 or 9 pounds overweight. Super disrespectful. That was a waste of my time. Very frustrating. And then had the audacity to try to talk crap to me and say we're gonna do it again. Like, no, I don't care how it makes me look. I'm never gonna agree to fight that man again because he doesn't take it serious. No one misses weight by 8 pounds that didn't try. Like, you didn't try. You just said whatever. He wasn't sucked out. He was good. And that's very disrespectful. I have a daughter. I have bills of my own. I have things I have to do. Like, a camp is very strenuous on your body, your time, and I can't trust for him to show up. So I would never agree to fight him again. So that was very frustrating. And then also I had a few injuries last year that pulled me back and made me take the sidelines a little bit. But with all that said, there's always sunshine after the storm. I kind of took a step back, rebuilt myself a little bit. I'm feeling better than ever, and I'm super healthy this year. And it's going to be a great year for me. Going to plan to bang out a bunch more fights. I would like to fight after this fight. I'd like to fight at least 3, 4 more times this year, and just really put a stamp on 2023 and let everybody know that I really am the truth, and I'm just gonna keep beating people's asses and showing them.
Yes, so in 2024 you need to be in the UFC, because if you add few other wins, it will be like 9 or 10-0, being
Yeah,
undefeated. It's like UFC. It's like only option in this
yeah,
point.
man. Yeah. I think it'd be pretty crazy if like I get to 10-0 and I'm not signed by anyone. I might I might have to change my occupation because I don't think people like me. I don't really know. That'd be weird. I don't think that anyone in the world is like 10-0 or 9-0 or anything like that that isn't signed to a major organization of any sort. That would be, yeah, I think people just wouldn't like me at that point.
Yes, and especially that you are a finisher. You finish your fights. It's like not like this that you are taking your opponent down and do nothing. You are finishing them. So I think that it should be a matter of time that we can see you in the UFC.
100%. I have I believe my finish rate is like right at 70%, like either like 68 or 70% right there. So yeah, I'm not someone that's trying to coast or just take you down and hold you down. Um, I'm someone that finishes fights, and uh, I can't speak for what people want, man. Everyone has their own particular tastes and stuff. All I can do is just focus on me and just keep winning and not get overzealous and hunt for knockouts, and just look to put on fun and exciting fights. And then my time will come. That's how I see it, and I truly believe that.
And what is like one skill, one point that you need to improve in your MMA game?
Oh,
If
I can't
you
tell you. I can't tell
Okay,
you that.
okay, so maybe what do you think is best of your skills? What do you think?
My presence. My presence, definitely. My presence. My presence carries over into a lot of things. It carries over into the aggressiveness, the striking, grappling, the mental aspect of it, you know, in the round, coming off the stool, looking at the guy, ready to get back in there and jumping right back into the next round. My presence definitely is something that is a strong attribute of mine. My ability to make people like break.
And if you can choose anyone in the world that you would have a chance to fight, like a dream fight, who do you choose?
Hmm. I like to fight Kevin Lee.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, it should be it would be a very, very good fight.
I like to fight Kevin Lee. He's got good boxing, can wrestle, kickbox as well. Very, very good guy. I love watching him fight. I don't know. I've always said that I would like to fight Kevin Lee. No disrespect on that. I actually know his brother, Keith. He's me and Keith are cool. So I don't want to say that and come off disrespectful, but I think he's a really cool guy and a great fighter. And I just always thought it'd be fun to fight him.
Yes, he's a great fighter. A few years ago, he had a like amazing performance against Edson Barboza in a main
Yeah,
event, and he dominated him.
yeah. He's a very good fighter, and I think that'd just be fun. So as far as like a fight that I would like to have one day, or like a dream fight, I've always talked about like fighting him, and I think that'd be very cool.
And how do you define success in MMA? Let's say that it's like 10 years later, 2033, and how do you like to take a look on your career, and what do you consider as a success?
So I even though I got into MMA kind of late, MMA is one of those sports where it's less on age and more on miles. And as far as miles, I'm still very green to this sport. So I have a lot of years left in me. And I am nowhere near to scratching my prime yet. Um, I'm getting better and better every day and leveling up at a very quick rate. So 10 years from now, 10 years from now, I see myself just recently retiring. I would like to fight up until I'm 40 years old. Um, and I see myself having a great, successful career. Uh, you know, getting in the UFC, competing with the best guys in the world, and hopefully, the dream of mine is to attain a lightweight title and be a UFC champion, and then something bigger than that would be to be put into the talks of a top pound for pound spot one day. I have a lot of work to put in, but as far as like goals and dreams and what I reach for and what drives me to push myself every day are those things right there.
Yes, and like you said, it's like the number of miles that your body went through. It's like Max Holloway is quite young fighter still. He's
Yeah.
of course great fighter, but he's in the UFC since I believe 2012. So it's many years fighting the top level opposition. So
Yeah, he has a lot of miles, but he's a young guy still. But he's a great fighter, man. His ability to like control distance and pressure, just be in and out is so it's just great to watch. He's a very skilled fighter and tactician, and he's someone that people should aspire to try to fight like. Just his ability to cut cages off and change angles, whether it's southpaw or orthodox, and just slide right out of the way and come back and counter and set up his shots with his feints. It's fun to watch him fight. I watched his last fight against Arnold Allen. That was a really good fight. Arnold did his thing. He looked good against Max, but Max is definitely a tough boy.
yes, Max had like many great fights against Kelvin Kattar,
Yeah.
against even Dustin Poirier, the fight that he lost, but it was still a great one.
Yeah. He was a little too small for that weight class. You could tell. You could see the size difference. Even though Poirier used to be a 45er, once he moved up to 55, he grew into that weight class, and you could see the size discrepancy in that fight. Poirier was a much bigger man.
And outside of fighting, what do you like to do in your free time? Let's say that you are after your fight in next week and you can't really train. What do you like to do?
I'm pretty much a laid back guy. It depends on how my body's feeling. It's beautiful right now in Connecticut. So depending on how my body's feeling, if my foot or my leg's not too busted up after the fight, I'll definitely be outside every second of the day, riding my bicycle, just enjoying nature, going for hikes, spending time with my daughter, and just being outside. I love being outdoors and just live my life, man. I'm not a video game person. I don't own a gaming console. I'm not huge into movies. I just enjoy being outside and camping, hiking, all that type of stuff. So after my fight, that's exactly where you can find me, outdoors somewhere, either hiking or camping.
Yes, and it's also a presence
Yeah.
that you don't like to be like in the film, watching a movie or gaming, but you like to be in the let's say wild.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I love it. It grounds me. It like makes me it zens me out. Nothing like right now. I don't know if you can hear, but I'm right next to a window. I have the window open. I can hear the birds chirping, and it's so relaxing, nice to hear. And as soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm gonna be going for a run outside to get some sun and just enjoy the day. And then after the run, I'll probably go bike for a little bit, just because it's nice out. And that's how I'm gonna spend my day. That's how I like to spend most of my days, just being outdoors and active.
And enjoying life.
That's it, bro. That's what it's all about, man. Life's short.
And before the fight, how do you deal with the stress?
I don't feel any stress going into the fight. Do you mean like a build up a fight week? What do you mean by that?
No, let's say it's like 6 hours to the fight.
Oh no, I'm taking a nap. I'm sleeping. I'm taking a nap and chilling. I wake up in the morning at whatever point, get breakfast, chill for a little bit, do a little shakeout, get my lungs open up, get a first sweat for the day, walk around, chill, eat some donuts, maybe some candy, then have lunch, take a nap, just chill till it's time to report, and then just hang out, get my hands wrapped. And I don't really get like anxious or stressed going into fights, man. That's actually where I feel the most at peace and calm. I get butterflies more in the practice room than anything else. But when I'm in the back warming up or fight day, I'm not jittery or nervous, or I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to do this. I love doing this. When I go and get locked into the cage to fight someone else, it's something that is very like a big passion of mine, and I get to express myself. I feel the most free. So how I deal with it is I just chill, man. I just relax, and hey, I do this shit for a living. Like fighting's fun. Fighting's fun. Yeah, it could be scary, but that's where courage comes in. There's always that chance that something bad can happen. But even with that chance, I love this shit.
And when you started your career, did you felt any stress, or it's like from the beginning you felt like only the like no stress?
No, I'll be honest with you. The first so I had my first MMA fight, my amateur debut after 6 months of training. Um and that was a big eye opener for me. I was nervous going into it, and it was when I made my walk and got into the cage and the whole fight, it was just very hard to keep my focus. My ADD was having me bounce everywhere. The lights distracted me. I'm trying to walk. The ring girl's cutting my step and like messing me up, and my focus was very off. Um, and then I was still kind of nervous my second fight, and even my third amateur fight, I would say I had butterflies and I was nervous. But I remember when I had my first amateur title fight, I was in the back warming up, and I was just walking back and forth. And I looked at Nick and I was like, Nick, I think something's wrong. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, and I told him, I don't feel nervous. I feel too calm right now. I don't know if that's good. He was like, it's all right. Just relax. Just do what you got to do. And I walked out, and that was my first knock. No, that was my second knockout. But I knocked that guy out in 32 seconds, and he was a very tough guy. But I was so calm in the back, just so chill. Walked out so chill, so focused, and ever since that point, it's carried me through every fight since then. Just super relaxed, calm, and in my happy place.
So I hope that you will be relaxed before this fight too.
Oh, damn, man, I'm be chilling. I'm ready to go fight this guy. I'll go fight this guy today. We can fight today, and I'll fight him again next Friday. I'm ready to fight him.
So you would be at 2-0 in 1 week.
That's it, 100%. My guy, I like you.
So Eddy, many thanks for this conversation. I hope that you will win this fight, and you will be fighting in like next month or two. And maybe in 2024 we can see you in the UFC fighting with the like top level guys.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
Okay, thanks.